Reviewing pop music is supposed to be one of the great joys of a journalism career. But as the first words of this review began to formulate, the news filtered through that something had happened at Manchester Arena. At first it seemed to be an isolated incident with a speaker, but then with every update the news was more and more devastating. It felt crass to chronicle a joyous evening at an arena gig while the most horrific of polar opposites was taking place less than an hour's drive away. But we can't let evil win. Not when there's so much going on in our world that's good. What follows is a review of an evening of perfect pop music presented in a remarkable way. Please take it for what it is, because one day these will become the happy memories we keep. And those who attempt to bring chaos into our lives will be deservedly forgotten. 3 is now a magic number. It was 5 at first and 4 for a while, but we've finally settled on 3. When Howard, Gary and Mark arrived as Take That on stage at the Echo Arena this evening, the stage may have felt a little sparse for those used to seeing that back in the day, but such is the theatricality behind every song on the lad's set list that after 30 seconds it feels more jam-packed than one of your Nan's ham buddies. This year is a milestone for the British boy band by which all its compatriots shall be judged. "We're taking you back to 1992, cried Gary at one point, his bleached blonde quiff only flopping slightly after 40 minutes of energetic choreography and lungfuls of lyric. This was an evening for the faithful. For those who were there at the beginning and never gave up on their boys. The obscure early offering satisfied was no obstacle to 80% of the capacity crowd who were able to bat it back to the remarkably innovative stage, a recreation of the Take That TT logo, which was able to rise, fall and obscure itself with back-projected curtains at whim, coupled with some whimsical choreography that was part Cirque du Soleil, part Peter Blake, and it made for a truly theatrical evening which fits the Take That songbook perfectly. The trio standing within a wall of water for recent hit the flood while imagery is projected on to the cascade was truly mesmerizing, while a sequence where the boys are suspended in midair on a flying bedstead, gigantic rose and floating orb emphasized the Lewis Carroll-like imagery behind the title of this new album and tour. It's now more than 10 years since Take That reformed, longer than they were together for originally. This also means that there are 2 very different types of Take That. The old school hits of Pray, Relight My Fire, Back for Good and Never Forget are still there, although A Million Love Songs was noticeably not given extra pizzazz with the trappings that now accompany a Take That performance. Then there's Take That Mark II, or Mark III if you're feeling pedantic, as 3 grown men in their 40s, each with a quarter-century experience of the business to draw from. It's understandable they want to exercise their songwriting muscles and are now coming up with songs that feel almost like pastiches of the Kinks, Pink Floyd and Pepper-era Beatles. That's not a criticism of Barlow's musical magpieing. What this new sound from That does give us is the prospect of Mark Owen dancing atop Gary Barlow's in Cuban heels to shine and amazing video art accompanying new track giants. There was a joyous atmosphere from beginning to end, and the band clearly loved Liverpool as much as we loved them. If the band wasn't constantly evolving and reinventing itself, then it's doubtful they would still be packing out 11,000 capacity arena, something very few of their contemporaries are still doing. This is pure pop packaged in the most luxurious wrappings around, to be unpeeled and unfurled as a special treat for the eyes and ears. You couldn't go to a show like this every day, but when you do, it can feel, to almost quote Mr. Barlow, like one of the greatest of your life.